Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of the RLG cast. It's episode 6. I'm here with the Puttyman from Putty. I'm here with Johnny Donuts from JohnnyDonuts 777. Their stuff will be in the description. Check them out, subscribe to this channel. If you're not subscribed to this channel, then subscribe.
What are you doing with your life?
Thank you. Filled in my gaps. Anyways, we're gonna talk about some stuff and we're gonna have fun because all we do is talk about pop culture things, and we're gonna get it popping with the culture of the Putty. So, Super Mario comes out soon.
I'm
What
excited.
I don't want to know what you think.
Yeah,
What are what
because
are
we were
the
having this discussion on Discord earlier this week.
what are the expectations?
I'm hoping for like a Detective Pikachu, Sonic the Hedgehog type of fun. Maybe it's Illumination, so like Minion style, that kind of stuff. Just a fun watch
Yeah, because I don't think it's going to be like those.
at all.
I don't. I think well, expectation wise, I'm hoping it's going to be good. I expect it to be good. After everything that's happened in Mario with like they're making a movie, they're not making a movie, they're making a movie, John Leguizamo, and
This may tank.
I don't think it's in a tank. I just think it needs to be good. And I don't see the Detective Pikachu Sonic thing happening because they had the added value of having real people in the movie.
Good point. Good point.
And I think that this can get lost in the sauce because it's all going to be in this animated world. And the latest trailer that came out is just so much. It's so overwhelming with things that happen. I'm worried about stuff like that. Like it
So you
feels
think the
like
majority of ticket sales is going to be parents bringing kids, as
it's
opposed to like people like us?
yes, and I do think it's going to be a like, oh, remember Mario Kart? That's in this. Remember Mario Party? That's in this. Remember
Yeah,
Super Mario 3? That's in this. It's going to be like every segment is going to be based on a game to give you like a nostalgia
like the
thing.
Remember Berries from South Park.
Yeah, and
Remember?
it's just going to be an overwhelming mess of things. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, see, okay, see, that was the one thing that was my concern because there is a lot of jumbled up things in there, and like I'm thinking way more into the future of things because everything's hitting. Because I've gone already down the rabbit hole of watching interviews, watching clips. You know me, when I get excited for something, I'm just like absorbed in it, and there's so many apparent like Easter eggs and things that are outside of the actual Mario world in this that they're just probably be background things. They're not going to be a big deal. I'm not trying to make anything out of them, but the whole thing about there's a lot of all Mario in it, and the way it's looking to me is everything that happens in all the Mario games are part of that world, or this world. You know what I mean? From all the way to Galaxy, all the way to the first game. And so what it feels like to me is I'm hoping, and this is what I'm hoping, is that the things like the Mario Kart and all that stuff is just something to get flow into it, because based on what I heard, the whole Mario Kart thing, they made it look all fantastical there, but it's actually a actual battle scene where they're actually having like the Koopas on their vehicles and they're actually batting on track. So it's something where it's because they're coming off of the castle and it's like a whole big battle between
So
them. And
let me cut you on that. I did see the same thing, and I was like, okay, I see this. They're trying to be like Mad Max. There's a big chase scene. It's not a race,
Yeah.
it's a chase scene. But then they end up on Rainbow Road, which then I was like, okay, now you're already screwing up because you doing this is just to member bury us. Like you didn't need to go to
pander.
Rainbow Road.
It's
exactly,
pandering.
but see, here's the reason why I think that this might be also their whole thing about the going from place to place. There might be something we don't know about yet. And we've talked, I've told you guys the thing. I feel like I'm hoping this is just again me being the inner kid in me, and I'm hoping that this is just their way of saying, "Hey, we got hidden stuff in there that's going to expand things. Everything leads to something," and so they're just putting crumbs in there of something that potentially could be something bigger,
I
and
don't
that's
see
why it
that.
looks so confusing to us.
I don't see that.
I agree with you. I agree with Putty.
Really?
I
I
do
don't see
think
that.
I do think that even if it doesn't turn out that way or it goes in a bad direction, I do think their general thought was we're just gonna sprinkle in these Easter eggs for people, but it's gonna end up being pandering by the end of it. Like I don't think the intention was to just be like, oh, we're just gonna pander, but I think they overwhelmed the movie with Easter eggs is what I think is gonna happen.
See what I'm thinking. What I understand, Putty. You're hoping for like this whole multiverse thing, aren't you?
Well, see, here's my thing. if they do it, if everyone else listens properly and they do it right, this could be the self-contained Mario universe. Donkey Kong, all that works with it.
Yeah.
You could still have those other ones, and then eventually come into a Smash universe thing.
Now understand that Shigeru Miyamoto is very protective of his IPs.
Right.
Unless it's a Smash Brothers game, you will never see Zelda commune with Link. You will never see Metroid, Samus commute. You know what I mean? Those franchises do not cross over. There are their own contained things, and Miyamoto is very protective of those. So I don't think that's going to happen in a movie. But
see, let's put this out there. Miyamoto is very much involved in this movie, right? But the thing is he's changing a lot as well. Because you got to think, look at the kind of stuff and how they're leading in tomorrow. There's a lot of things that are changing from the storylines, but they're just still keeping a lot of story things. Like, for example, you could tell that they're trying to make sure that they pander to everyone. For example, not making this princess the whole, oh, she's innocent thing. She's like a warrior. And she was in the games, but the whole original storyline was she was captured by Bowser and then saved. I think that he understands where that universe is and there's a possibility. So I'm not saying that he's saying like, oh, we're strictly doing this. I feel like he has that idea in his head that if this works out, we could lead into this. So of course he's going to keep doors open.
I'm not going to shut the door on multiverse because I think that would obviously be stupid. If this movie does well, Nintendo's going to want to make money. My issue is that you've now just decided that this is going to happen, where I think is the differences of opinion of where me and you are. And I think for JD, his difference of opinion is he just doesn't think this is going to happen because the creators of the games are going to be like, no. I think you have to land somewhere in the middle on this, but I do think that your decision that it's going to lead to a Smash game, a movie, is just kind of dumb, not because I don't think it will happen, but because you've just decided this now. And but listen, you're explaining it to us not in a way that you hope this is going to happen. You're basically telling us that this is going to happen. I don't think you mean to, but the way you're coming off is like you're telling us that this is going to happen.
I apologize for that. Here's the thing. The reason why I like, let's put it this way. If we're looking at barometer 51 to like 100%, I'm leaning towards 51 only because based on what they say, like 51% leaning towards the
but I would lean to like maybe 10%. And I'll tell you why. Because it's not that I don't think there's going to be a multiverse, but I think to make a movie about Smash Brothers will be ridiculously hard. I know we had this talk before, and I even wanted a Smash movie, but I just think, what story are you going to tell? Oh, somehow all 37 of these characters linked up for this one thing.
Well, no, I get. But see, that's the thing. That's
I think they're going to make Zelda. I think you will definitely get a Donkey Kong universe game because we already have established those characters from the Donkey Kong show, so people do know who they are. I think you could get a Kirby movie. I think they might even have some kind of intertwining crossover because we do see some of those characters in this movie.
I see a live-action Metroid.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to culminate the way that Putty is saying that it will.
Well, so let me use one that they've already mentioned, and I'll just use only one. So you're telling me, based on the Punch-Out pizza that apparently is in this movie, that's just a thrown in to say, oh my God, Punch-Out! I remember that. Well, game. No, I get that, but they have so much Mario and Donkey Kong.
How many Easter eggs were in Wreck-It Ralph that didn't lead to anything?
Drunkinsky or Soda Pop Honda showing up in like these movies? Like, no, you're not going to have those characters. So yes, Mario was the referee in that game. And that's why they're throwing that little Mario nugget out there. I don't think that has
those Easter eggs are fine. I'm okay with that. The references are fine, but I don't think you're going to get a Super Punch-Out movie. Do you think they're going to make a Little Joe movie?
I would not see them pass through the whole thing like their own.
Wait, was it Little Mac? It's Little Mac.
Little Mac.
I said Little Joe.
Little Joe is from with Bonanza.
With the goofy leg.
See, that would make a great movie because you would lead into all these major characters that would find his weakness.
No, absolutely. This is a really good discussion. I just want to put that out there.
No, but like I said, I think that little nod is because Mario was the referee in that game. They kind of like he goes, hey, it's a little nod to that.
But that's why Donkey Kong's in this.
Yeah. Well, no. But see, let me put this out there. I'm just gonna say this, and the reason I'm putting my hat in the field with the whole MC thing is because I want to be able to say "I told you so" kind of thing. But I just want to put it this way: the reason why I feel so deep about this is because the whole thing with Donkey Kong, you see that they have the original Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong and all that stuff, and it leads. They're leading into that story of doing the Donkey Kong Country movies. You know what I mean?
And
Of
I
course
can see that, and that's fine, and have that
But-
as its own thing.
But that's what I'm trying to say right now. Here's the thing: you could potentially have these separate movies where they're self-contained, but of course Mario and Donkey Kong are going to go together. You're not going to see Kirby randomly show up in a Mario movie because he's not really part of the movie. Yeah, exactly. But see, I could see something.
Listen, I'm not here to deny that people are going to show up in the universe or in movies. I'm here to debunk the fact that you're being super, super specific about what's exactly going to happen maybe 30 years down the road from now. And to me, that it's too early to make that call. And then your argument of it is you're just being super vague about things, so that if you do get anything right, you're going to be like, well, I was right.
Well,
So
we have
to line up in the middle.
You said, it all depends on the movie's performance too. If this
it's going to perform.
Yeah, it's going to perform along the lines of maybe like a Minions. I don't see it doing much better.
It's going to make $1 billion.
You think it's going to make that much?
It's going to make $1 billion because in Asia, Super Mario was going to sell.
That's
true.
See,
here's the thing. I love my Sonic, and I've already told I told my viewers when we were talking about, because they're like, "Are you going to dress up?" They asked me what I was going to do for the movie and everything, and I explained to them what I did, and I did say, I hate to admit this, I think this is going to be bigger than Sonic has or will be, because we're looking at a character that's literally, when you think video games, Mario is that name that first comes up. It is literally the iconic thing. I will not deny that. That is the truth. And I think that people know this. And Miyamoto has been like, hey, I've been sitting on this because of what that bad thing that happened before. Now we may have some potential of something else. So here, I want this to happen. I agree with Campo, the 10%. I'm down for that one and everything. But at the same time, just based on how it feels, it has such a feeling like we're going into that.
And we're talking as if we've seen this movie already.
I
know.
Seen it.
But just based on what I'm seeing.
Say this, 100%. I'm not leaning to 10% for this. 100%, they're multiversing. Okay, 100%. That my 10% is that I don't think it's going to culminate in a lead up the way that you do. I think if they all are going to meet up, it's going to be because there's one villain. They're going to pick one villain that's like a big villain that's not a mainstream one that's been around.
Maybe King K. Rool and Bowser team up.
Or something like that. Or, but I do agree with JD on one thing. That if they do a Zelda world, it will be on its own. Because and there's the thing too with Sonic. Like, I'm going to use Sonic as an example because I think it's a good example. The Zelda universe is very rich in its lore, and you can do enough movies out of that you don't need the crutch of multiversing it.
And there's
Sonic
different links,
like that, right?
So you can always have a different actor playing Link.
And Sonic is never going to cross over with Shinobi. Yeah, they're all owned by Sega, but it's not going to happen,
movie.
Right?
I want to say it's a rage movie.
You have a lot of references in Sonic to other Sega games, but they're never going to cross over. And I think that Mario lends itself to Donkey Kong and those types of characters because those characters cross over with Mario actually in the games.
Exactly.
And I think that's it. There's enough Mario lore plus Donkey Kong plus if you use Kirby to have its own universe be enough. You don't even need anything else.
Like I said, I'll put it this way: the only way I'm seeing this as a multiverse, but I'm still seeing it as multiverse, is they're just like for example, they might be like, what, we'll leave the end screen and still show like a scene for another movie or anything like that, but not even actually show it in the same universe. But it's still basically saying, what I'm saying is it's kind of like the original Avengers movies. Everything was self-contained. It didn't hint to anything except maybe like one small scene at the end. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not seeing them go full blown.
But this movie's already not self-contained. It already has
a crossover with Donkey Kong.
But you have to also remember, though, Donkey Kong and Mario, that's been there from the beginning. That's not really a crossover in my eyes when you think of it that way.
It's been there forever in Easter egg dumb. There's the actual lore of it was created much later just to create a link between it.
Well, originally it was Jumpman.
Yeah, it was Jumpman, and it's not even Donkey Kong. It's not the actual Donkey Kong. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
but he's gonna be in that one. The actual Donkey Kong.
I know, and that's fine. It's just I think your point of reference for that is not incorrect, but it is a forceful creation by Nintendo. because fans were like, "Well, I want an explanation of this," because like what
Right.
happened in the other games, right?
A
Like
retcon. It was a retcon.
what's the
So then
other
let me
game
ask
that
this.
they're in? The
Wrecking Crew. Are they going to? That's
Wrecking
the
Crew.
question.
And Wrecking
That's what
Crew.
I'm going to ask. Are they going to? That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if Wrecking Crew is going to be a part of this. But
I
now that we
think
see
you're going to
Columbus-
get penguins. You're going to get what
Yeah.
are the penguins?
You already
called?
have the penguins in the movie.
Yeah, see what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're already having all the crossover of the Mario from the game universe. I don't think you need the added stuff of that.
I'm sure we're going to
Because
see those little crabs.
Metroid
like-
could be its own franchise, and it's not to say no multiverse. I just think Nintendo is going to milk the movies for what they can in their own thing before they even question crossing over.
Instead
because
of one
that'll be a
big
last-ditch
franchise,
effort.
they're going to keep 3 separate. There's going to be the Mario, there's going to be the Zelda, and there's going to be the Metroid. Mario is this very, like I said, minion style type of animation.
I think all of the animated, like cartoony style characters are going to be in the Mario universe. I agree with that. You're going to have your
and then
Kirby's
Zelda's
all
going to
of
be
that stuff.
more. I hate to say it because the movie was so bad, but no, but Advent Children was good. It's going to be like Zelda. Zelda's going to be like the Final Fantasy Advent Children type of animation, a little bit darker, a little bit more mature. So, and Metroid, I think it lends itself to like an Alien style live action movie.
I would do the Zelda movies in full on anime. I would do them,
Yeah.
or like in the Spider-Verse style. Like I wouldn't pander to the fans to.
But that's what I mean. Like
Super
that
Mario
style of
belongs in
Advent
this
Children.
childish look, right?
Yeah, but the Advent Children.
Yeah. That's
that
fine.
style.
And I do think we've kind of established a middle ground where we were all kind of agreeing that there's going to be some kind of multiverse. But until they're desperate to cross everything over, I don't think they're gonna. That's gonna be their go-to.
But again, I just think what it is it's gonna be hinted there. It's something that they hope they can get to because everyone now is at that point where they want to get to it. And I don't think Miyamoto is like shrugging it off. I think he's just sitting there like, well, we can add this there, and that could link to Wrecking Crew, or that can link to this character.
Fair, dude. I agree with you. I don't think what JD's saying. I don't agree with him on that. I don't think he's saying, nope, I'm not doing a multiverse. But I do think he's saying, well, Zelda's never going to be in the Mario world because I want to make a real movie.
I just see, like, for example, at the end, again, each movie could have something where it links it to a portal, or like if Mario does really well, they could make another Mario movie, and then they could have like, oh, what's this portal? I'm like, oh my
you're
god,
gonna get that. You're gonna get Luigi's Mansion, I think.
Yeah,
I think you could get
a Wario World.
Yeah, you could get Wario World because that's why I promise you we're not going to see Wario or Waluigi in this because they're going to save them for a second movie.
Oh, of course. Or even later on, because you got
to do a movie where they're all playing tennis together.
We still haven't got the Koopalings or Bowser Jr., so we still have all
see
these
what I mean?
main characters. Yeah,
I fully think that there's possibilities for this universe to be a universe. I just don't think it's going to be a full Nintendo crossover. I think it's going to be like the super animated characters, and then the
like what I was
stuff
saying
is going to be on its own.
See, my thing. And I'll tell you, I've been branching and thinking about the whole idea in general, and I just thought of little key things like Bowser saying something like, "There's someone just eating my Koopalings," and it's just just like you said, it's their Kirby doing it. But then it's just like, oh no, why is Kirby there? And it just do boom, and then it just leads into what could be their own Avengers style movie. Then eventually, again, I'm not saying this movie's putting that in there, but if it does show one little hint of thing, it's going to make me go, okay, that literally is Miyamoto trying to, like, at the end, like at the end credits, we get something from another movie. Then it does feel like he does want to emphasize a little bit of
so
link.
I'm ending Mario talk right now, and I'm going to ask one question to both of you. What is, and I don't yell it out together. You can go in turns. What is the best and what is the worst Mario games? Putty. One. You pick one best and one worst. No ties.
One best. Oh. Best.
All right, JD.
Okay, best.
Okay, here's my answer. Go watch my video where we rank.
I was gonna put it in the thing. Just tell them anyways.
The best one for me, it has to be Mario World. That is my all-time. Super Mario World has to be my number one all-time favorite. Worst would be, I don't know, Mario. Like if we're talking the whole thing, the DS Mario Luigi stories.
Oh, that doesn't freaking count, but okay, I'll let you have that.
Yeah, you see, then if we're doing that, then it is Super Mario Land. That would be my worst. The
OG Game Boy, yeah,
the Game Boy.
Yeah. I'll put that one. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick out what's the worst one.
Okay, so what's the best?
Super Mario Bros. 3. I want World, but 3 still has me and JD talked about it. I just love 3, so yeah, 3.
Oh, I don't know. My worst is gonna be Mario teaches typing. No,
okay,
okay. My worst is gonna be the
Hotel Mario on the
Hotel Mario on Panasonic.
I was
Was it
gonna say, yeah.
Panasonic 3DO?
Yeah, what 3DO? Yep, it ends the
Okay,
link,
no,
yeah.
I'm not gonna count that. I'll say the worst one
Well,
is
excuse me, princess.
I just forgot. Super Mario Brothers 2 is the worst one. Why? Because it's a complete departure from any other Mario game.
But I still like it, so
It's
I
still
can't
good.
bump it
Like
up.
I
Still
don't
a
think
fun
there's
game.
any like bad game really, except for the ones that we yelled out. The best game is Super Mario Galaxy.
Wow.
See, I
Okay.
told you, Putty. People love that game.
I know. I wasn't that big into it as much as everyone else was.
Well, my
especially
other
Galaxy 2.
answer would have been Super Mario World. He picked it, and my other
Yeah.
answer would have been Super Mario 3, and you picked it. So
Now
I just
let me
went-
add this
I went with
because
my
this
third
was not
option.
part of the mainline Mario games, but one of the best Mario games out there is the Thousand Year Door. Paper
Thousand
Mario.
Years Door is great. Actually, you know what? I changed my answer. My favorite Mario game is Super Mario RPG.
Okay, I'm down for that. That was on top of our list. I love that
Only
game.
because it has Gino.
Gino.
And
Gino's makes the pizza good.
Gino's just a
Can-
ripoff of what's the guy from Final Fantasy?
Cloud?
No, the one that's in
floating-
every game, Sid. Oh no, wait, I thought you were Sid.
No,
the blue
Kefka?
guy. I don't remember his freaking
blue
name.
guy.
The guy with the little hat. He wears a hat and he floats
Oh.
around.
Vivi,
Yeah,
the
He
black
didn't
mage.
float, though.
yeah, the black mage.
He didn't.
I mean,
float,
he
though.
looks
That's-
like he's flying in all the pictures. Okay.
It looks like Orko, yes.
Yeah, Orko.
Yeah, he does look like Oracle. I'll agree with that, and I love that. But anyway, yeah.
Shit, Orko and him and Gino are all the same character.
Yes, they were. They're all played by the
Whoa.
same
Like-
actor. No,
just like Gizmo and Bobby's World, but you know, hey.
Okay, so Brendan Fraser.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the thing. There's rumors that he's going to be in the new Jumanji. What?
Okay.
We don't know if this is true. Would you rather get another Jumanji or a fourth Mummy movie?
Fourth Mummy movie.
Yeah, but is he
Redeem
fit
the
enough
last
to-
bad one.
They're both going to end up being the same quality, and they're both from like medium level franchises.
I mean, here's the thing though: is Brendan Fraser capable of doing the stunts he used to? Because I mean, he lost the weight, but you could tell he's still pretty chunky. I mean,
Yeah, but he's an actor.
he has-
It'll take him
He has
2
time
weeks.
to get back in shape.
okay.
He's a
I would
millionaire. It's
like
going
it-
to take him 2
then I
weeks to
wouldn't
get
mind
back in
another
shape.
And
Mummy
they can bring
movie.
Rachel Weisz back. She's still in fantastic shape.
Well, he said if he ever did it, they have to bring her back, or he's not doing it. And he
that
wanted
makes
to.
sense.
He said if they make a new one, it would retcon the third movie.
I'm okay with
So
that.
like
as
the
well.
third movie never happened.
Yeah, and then they would bring back
Nope.
the
You guys are
original
wrong.
son.
Where is my Encino Man sequel? I want my Encino Man sequel right now.
No, no Pauly Shore,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, no,
And Encino Man has both Brendan Fraser, Fraser,
Fraser.
and
That's a good show either. Too.
and it has Short Round.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, let's not get. I teared up on that one. I'm not gonna lie. That got me.
Teared up
Yeah.
on them. What did you watch that? They were all you cried every single one of those wins.
Good lord.
It's Encino Man is
Yeah.
the secret multiverse
It is.
where the Mummy and Everything Everywhere All at Once
And Indiana Jones crossover.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh!
there we go. Oh my
There
god,
we go.
it's gonna happen.
Short Round, because they're in the same time era. Short Round meets Rick O'Connell.
That means Goonies is connected too.
That means Goonies connected to
Yeah,
that.
Goonies is
That
connected
because
too.
that Short Round's son is Data.
Is Data.
His
Grandson.
grandson is Data.
Which now connects. What's his name that plays Cable and Deadpool? Deadpool's not connected to Goonies. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But also Data, when he becomes a teenager, meets Encino Man at high school, and then now we have a whole multiverse.
And Encino Man is
swear.
the ancestor of Rick O'Connell.
Oh my god!
Because he was frozen in the ice.
And
from
this
the-
I
is
swear to God, if we could
insane.
ever, I swear.
You want to talk about a multiverse movie? There you go.
We just literally had the craziest thing. So I don't know what to do now because that just blew my mind.
Yeah, well, that worked, and that's a
That
big
just
connecting
happened.
universe.
That just
That just
happened, guys.
Okay, so nobody watched Scream yet, unfortunately. Putty Putty's just a waste.
I will be watching
Wow.
it this week.
Do we think that the new Indiana Jones is going to be better than 2 or 4? And expectations. What are we expecting?
I think it'll be better than 4. But you know where I stand on Temple of Doom. That's still one of my favorites.
Yeah, see, I
hate
agree.
that movie.
I love Temple of Doom.
I absolutely
But
hate Temple of
I
Doom.
think if done right, this could be a return to form.
I still haven't seen 4. I mean,
It has to be done right. Like it has to recapture that magic. It has to, like, do we know what era this is taking place, or are they just going to de-age Harrison for the whole thing?
See, I didn't even know that was happening.
I think he's being de-aged for the whole thing.
So this is going to take place before Crystal Skull?
No, this takes place after, but he's also like 99 years old, right? that movie was 10, 12 years
13
ago.
years, 2012. Yeah, 11 years ago.
So
more.
I already, no, it was before that.
09, 08.
Yeah, it was like 09. Because I remember I watched it on a camping trip with some girls. But
nice.
Yeah, it was nice because anyways, they say that they do mention what happens to Shia LaBeouf's character.
He's dead.
I don't think he's dead. But they reference it, so it has to take place after 4.
Okay.
I like him in that movie. He's not
the
problem with that movie.
Are they bringing Karen Allen back?
I don't know. I don't have details. I think that it's hard. It's gonna be hard.
You know what? What if, because what's it called? The Dial of Destiny or something like that?
Yeah.
What if it's some sort of time travel device where he goes back, and that's why they de-age him, where he meets his younger self, and it retcons all of Crystal Skull?
What's your such so negative about Crystal Skull? Like Temple of Doom exists. It's a terrible
and
movie.
It's much better.
See, I like Temple of Doom.
Is okay. Look, this is my issues. You ready? We're gonna start. We're gonna start here. We're gonna get into this Indiana Jones discussion. Temple of Doom is a prequel without even telling you that it's a prequel. Number one. Number two, it is completely outside the realm of Indiana Jones. So the first movie and the third movie have this locked-in character that is Indiana Jones. This movie is like in a completely different universe where it's about all this dark magic that you don't see that in any of the other ones. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure. You don't have to quote me. You guys can Google it if you want. But I'm pretty sure this was made as a completely different movie and then repurposed as an Indiana Jones movie. Because
you could see the magic of the rock that you brought.
See? It just doesn't feel like an Indiana Jones movie in any way.
I think because it's a prequel, he hasn't found himself yet. You know what I mean?
But it's like,
because that intro scene is very much an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, and then it's a complete departure.
Then after you meet Dan Aykroyd in that film,
it just becomes all magic. It's all about magic, and like no other Indiana Jones movie is about freaking.
But they open the ark. Mystical. That's technically magic, mystical. Religious is still
mystical is different than like magicians. It's I don't know, and it's so poorly written and acted and directed. It looks like garbage. And Data's like the most racist character that's ever existed. I mean, short round, sorry. It's crazy. I don't know how Steven Spielberg never got called out for that ever.
Because he got called out for the fact that he threw his wife in that film just because she had to be in it.
Oh, and she's so bad.
She's the worst part of that film.
She's the worst actor that ever lived. Minus Dan Aykroyd in that like 10 seconds. Digressing. I just think that as a movie, the fourth one is a better made movie. It might feel like Star Wars level blasphemous to like older fans that grew up with Indiana Jones and are like, yeah, you know, like it's not the same. Yeah, because it's not 1981 anymore.
I gotta sit there and watch it. I still haven't done it yet, and I gotta just
go watch it. listen,
it's watchable.
Regardless of which one I like and which one I don't like, because I'll still watch Temple of Doom 9 times out of 10. It's not the worst movie ever made. I just think that the fourth one is a much more comprehensible like movie in terms of filmmaking. Mind you, I don't understand the hate for it. I can't believe that someone could sit there and be like, this movie's unwatchable. Like, no, it's perfectly fine. It's just a lot of CGI.
Yeah, bad CGI.
Yes, that I will acknowledge that. The monkey scene, that's no bueno.
But then again, aliens were still falling into that magical, like, you know what I mean?
But that's why it doesn't work with me about this. This one and the second one both have this weird like mystical thing where the first one and the third one are based in reality with this religious biblical element tacked on. The other two are just random, like one's about UFOs and one's about a magical cult. So
I was waiting for that ancient aliens guy with the hair. Just go aliens.
He's my favorite guy. Okay, so I'm gonna move on from this. Good Burger 2 is coming out. I think we're all happy for that.
I saw that announcement, and I saw the
80s. Like I've never watched that. I was definitely in like university by that time.
Well, you know what's funny?
That was me.
The reason why I was actually older when all that came out and everything, but I was so ingrained in SNL culture that all that caught my attention because it was there and it was a sketch comedy for kids. So I was aware of Kenan Thompson because of that, Keenan Kel, and of course Good Burger. These all I remember I was my early like 8. What year did Good Burger come out? I can't remember now.
98 or 99.
Yeah, so I would have been like 18 or 19 when that came out. So I remember seeing
21.
Yeah. Well, see, I remember seeing
97.
The movie.
I was
17. I was 17. Okay. So I remember seeing the movie because of Keenan and Kel themselves. And
you still would have been in the age range to watch it.
Me?
Yeah.
No, him.
Him, yeah. Me, no.
Yeah. So, but my problem is I really like it, but there is nostalgia to it, but it's those are two such over exaggerated characters that are good for kids that I hope they grow it up. I really, because now that Keenan's done all this stuff with SNL and everything, I think they have a chance to really do something special for the older audience that grew up with their shows, and they could still make it maybe something PG-13, but try not to make it too kiddie because you're going to lose an audience that you have there, and that's what I'm afraid of. Is it's going to go back to that kiddie form of Good Burger, which unfortunately we can't really go back to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What if they turn it into something like along the lines, I'm not saying as crass or as vulgar, but something along the lines like Clerks 2, where they're still working at the fast food joint?
Well, I'd be fine with that.
Genuinely, that's funny you said that. I was going to say it, so spoilers for my thing. I genuinely think that's what they want. I think that their goal is to make this into like a Clerks type of movie that potentially they could even get a third movie out of.
I'm not saying go full crass and full like vulgarity, but you can still aim it at like, because let's face it, this is aimed at that older millennial group that have that nostalgia for this movie.
You can completely go full Clerks. You just remove all the vulgarity out of it, like because you can still make a Clerks
and still make it a fun
swearing.
movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That could appeal to, like, say, someone of my generation who didn't really have that nostalgia for that film.
No,
that's completely like fair. So, okay, quickly, Willow is canceled. I don't think anyone was
cared about
that.
Nope.
Not.
That was
one of the worst shows I've ever watched.
Yeah, the ratings for it are so bad. I honestly I knew you didn't like it, but I was like, I'm still gonna give it a chance because I always liked the movie, and
I did
it
too,
seems like a really good idea to make a show about.
The characters, like the actors who are portraying some of those characters, are fantastic. Like bringing back Warwick Davis as Willow. What's his name? The big brute guy with the hair and the beard. There, I forgot the actor's name. He's
hair
good
guy.
in the hair guy, and then Revelori there too. He's
Tony Revelori.
Okay, so JD, then give it to me this way: as someone that grew up in the '80s, like myself and everything, and had the opportunity to see the original movie in theaters, all that stuff. Since you've seen the series now, do you regret seeing the series? Do you feel it ruins the movie, or do you feel like you would still go back and see the series again, being a fan of Willow?
I won't go back and see the series. I'll still watch the movie again.
But I'm saying, if you never saw it.
Okay, do you live in the Indiana Jones universe for Willow, where you just won't acknowledge the existence of the show?
No, I'll acknowledge the existence. That's fine. But like, I mean, I won't let the show tarnish
Okay,
the wonderment and the excitement and the fantasy I have for the original Willow
But
film.
do you think it would for someone like me though? That's what I'm curious about. That's
No.
after you watch.
If you're able to separate, no.
I don't think you will, because I personally don't even think, knowing you, and I haven't even seen the show Willow, but just knowing how you are when you watch certain things, I don't think you'll even not like it. I think you're going to watch it and be like, I don't understand why everyone doesn't like this. Not that I think you'll give it a high score.
You might enjoy
it,
yeah.
I don't think you're going to watch it and be like, oh, this was the worst thing ever. You know what I mean?
But even I said to myself, it's kind of hard for me without Mad Mardigan. It's kind of hard for me to really.
But see, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but can I?
Well, I mean, I guess
do the fans want to have spoilers for Willow?
Okay, let's not spoil it, but I won't say it. But you do find out what happens with Mad Mardigan in the show.
But is it worth it? Is it like is it going to feel like I'm going to like that's another thing I'm worried about. I really love that character, and I don't want I want that. I want to feel like, okay, that's good. You know what I mean? I don't want to be something like, oh, they just threw that together. It doesn't feel.
So it's Mad Mardigan's daughter is the main focal point, and Elora Danan that are the main focal points of this show.
Okay, so they do focus a lot on him, then talking about him at least.
Talking about him. But the problem I can't put past is the fact that Elora Danan is younger than Mad Mardigan's daughter, and she wasn't even born in the film. That's one of the big nitpicks I had towards it.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Or that they were the same age.
That's pretty fair.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying this last time. Yep.
So look over there.
Where?
No one cares about Willow. Willow talk is over. He's like looking around. The last thing I want to talk about, let's keep this brief. Ben Affleck is refusing to direct anything in the new DC movies or universe, apparently, to reports. He was supposed to direct something, the Brave and the Bold movie. That was the rumor, and now he's saying no, he's not doing it. He would never direct a movie in this universe.
Ben Affleck's being a sucky baby.
If it's a Zack Snyder thing, I genuinely think it's ridiculous, because their whole thing about Zack Snyder was, oh, he's so nice, he treats everyone well. Yeah, but everyone also loves James Gunn. So what's your argument now? Just because it's not Zack Snyder, you don't like James Gunn? Like, I don't get that. And what's the deal with this whole teasing thing that Zack Snyder's doing?
They're just re-releasing the movies in theaters.
Oh, that's what it is?
They're going to show back-to-back. I think from what I understand, they're going to show Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's a 3-night event that they're going to air it in Los. That's all it was.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's all it was. And his fans are like salivating over this.
He's probably paying for it out of his pocket because he's a freaking lunatic.
Like, okay, here's the thing. I know someone personally that thinks Man of Steel is one of the greatest movies out there, which whenever I say that out loud, it just breaks my brain. But then to know...
It's not even top 5 DCEU movies.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even going there. Let's not even talk about that. But my point to the whole thing is, for them to pick Man of Steel... You know, I guess Zack Snyder's Justice League, yes, it is better than the other Justice League, but God, the pedestal they put it on is not that great of a movie. It is a good movie.
It's a 7 out of 10.
It's not that great of a movie. And like they put this Man is still not on a pedestal. Where are your brains? Like,
listen, when your movie is complete absolute pandering and it's still only like a 7 out of 10, like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the negative things were the fact that, like, you know, they were complaining about Superman 2, or Superman doesn't act like that when he fights Zod and when he kills Zod or whatever. But he does the exact same thing in Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
He kills Zod.
Anyways, okay, so back to my original line of questioning before I got sidetracked. As fast as you can, does anybody care that Ben Affleck will not be directing this movie?
Nope.
No.
If Ben Affleck did direct it, would you be happy with that?
I'd be fine with it. Ben Affleck's a good director. He can do something really good with it, but
it
makes no difference to me.
I'm over that. I don't mind him playing Batman. I still feel he's a good Batman and a good, I still feel he plays the part well. But I'm just more interested in the character. If he does it well and it continues, fine. If not, I don't care because there's nothing out there that makes me go, "Ooh, he's directing it." Yay! No, nothing. If it was Kevin Smith, it'd be a different story. We'd be having a different conversation. You are not Kevin
I
Smith.
agree. Fictional characters.
Characters.
The
Fictional
fuck is the
characters.
internet? Anyways, on that note, I'm gonna let Banksy
Sounds like a mother.
Well, you can't say
Banksy.
that.
I almost
All right,
forgot.
guys. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out their channels, and peace out.